Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
Let's watch a Disney Channel original movie. Brown Boy Wonder Podcast presents Disney Rewatch.
Welcome to the Disney Rewatch edition of the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Every month, my guests and I are going to rewatch our favorite Disney Channel original movie. Today, we're going to talk about the 1999's Smart House. But before we get into that, let me bring out my guest here. My first guest, he is pretty smart. It is Anthony. Anthony, how are you doing today?
Hey, Abrar, I'm ready for my favorite tuna noodle.
Oh, yes, absolutely. My second guest, he is also smart, but, he's also jumping. It's Daniel. Daniel, how are you doing today?
Party.
Yeah. My last guest, he has the brains, and he has the hops. And he has a little Katie Seagal. It is Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing today?
I'm ready to slurp up a big slushy in the carpet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we're here to talk about Smart House, but I do have a question for you guys. Did this movie predicted the future?
In what way?
Yes, it did. It predicted the 2024 movie Afraid.
Okay.
Oh. I can see that. But when it comes to the technology, I feel like it's there. There's moving walls. There's Alexa. It's already there.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. There were certain things I thought were funny where they were like amazed at the fact that in this magical smart house, you can set your alarm to be, a basketball game or a full-blown orchestra. And it's like, I guess you can set that as audio for your alarm. That's not exactly super impressive. And I don't know about you guys. I don't think I want to be woken up by a loud basketball alarm. That sounds like too much. So they were amazed by that. I think I'm a little advanced. I don't think that would please me as much.
She can wake you up with anything too. She's choosing. You don't choose it.
It's true.
All right. She knows your likeness too. So I don't know. I might wake up to the Costco guys.
Atomic bomb test footage.
Oh God. No way. But yeah, let's get into the cast here. We got our Luck of the Irish, Ryan Murmerman as Ben Cooper. We got our Futurama's Katie Seagal as Pat. We got Kevin Kiner as Nick Cooper. We got Katie Voidling as Angie Cooper. We got Jessica Steen as Sarah Barnes. We got Paul Link as Tuttle. And I think the other one that's more important is Joshua Boyd as Ryan.
Important, huh?
I don't even know.
It's kind of important.
I just watched this movie. I don't remember who Tuttle is.
Oh, Tuttle.
All right, full
We didn't know
disclosure.
Tuttle either.
Before recording, we had a full conversation about who the hell is Tuttle.
Who the hell is Tuttle?
We'll get into Tuttle a little bit. But of course, this movie was directed by LeVar Burton.
That's insane.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I mean, I certainly didn't remember that. Star Trek Zone. What else could you say? That's absolutely crazy.
Star Trek actors like to direct, it's just how it goes.
They do.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes directed Minutemen? I don't know if that's true. He directed something.
True. It directed whatchamacallit, Clock Stoppers.
That's the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Minutemen is a different movie. He didn't
Clock
direct
Stoppers.
both, did he?
no, but that's a good movie. But what is the? Of course, I have to ask you guys this. But what was the budget for Smart House?
Oh God, nothing. Well, that's not true. They had to get Katie Seagal, didn't they? So
Yeah, Married with Family.
Married with
Married with Family. That's the one.
$13 million, Alex.
Ooh, I'm Trebek. What about you, Daniel?
$10 million ruse.
10 million for Smart House. Okay, and Skyler, how about you?
$2.
$2.
$2.
$2.
$2.
It is the budget for this. It is 130K.
That means I was
All
the
right.
closest.
All right, Skyler, you win. A new car is right behind you
Smart car.
with Katie.
Okay.
So when you watched this movie as a kid, did you think it was going to be like a smart guy like feature film or something? Is that why you were so excited for it?
How the hell you know this? I thought Tara Mowry was in this movie, but he was not when I was a kid.
I'm sorry. Sorry that
That's
didn't
all
work
right.
out for you.
That's all right. Maybe I can talk to him and he'll make like Smart House 2, or maybe it was a prequel. But that's okay. But yeah, let's before we get into the plot here, what is your all's initial thoughts when you guys rewatched this, or maybe watched it the first time?
Who wants to go first here?
Here's the thing. I think this movie is very fun. It's also like such a hilarious period piece. You know what I mean? In the same way that like the Fallout games are, this is what the future looks like from the 50s. This is what the near future looks like from exactly 99 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
the way the clothes are, all the objects that are being used, the fact that most of the smart technology is just like on TV screen stapled to a cabinet or something.
Mm.
It's like, it's so clunky and awkward in a way that's really charming and kind of kitschy. I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. This was a childhood favorite of mine, and this is an era of Disney Channel films where they tackled things and themes and ideas that I feel like maybe aren't tackled as much anymore. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing that makes this film hold up compared to other DComs. But yeah, you're right. I didn't really think about it until now, but it's very like Fahrenheit 451, where like all the walls are screens, and like that's the gimmick of the future, where you can have your whole view be a jungle safari or a mini golf course, and that's kind of the limit. It's vacuum floor and big wall. That's what Pat can do.
She's somehow cooking all that food too. Not really sure
Okay.
how.
That was a question. Where does the food come from? Does she like order on bulk like food for? Do they have to pay for the amounts of oranges that are in the counter? Like
There's so many
That is
oranges.
true.
these are questions that come up during Smart House.
I said that out loud while watching this by myself. I was like, "You're buying this food, right? Like you have to refill it."
Nick can't afford this food.
No,
He sells like balls or something. He's a ballsman. There's no way he can afford this much food.
Do you think he's selling those tennis balls? That's what he's doing.
I don't know.
Oh,
You see
maybe.
his office at work one time, and there's just like a bunch of basketballs and shit behind him. So I just assume he's like a sports apparel salesperson or something.
We'll get
no,
to the basketballs. We'll
it's
get
unrelated.
to Ben's basketball shirt. We'll get to it when we get into the movie.
Oh yes.
Um,
Well, yes.
So my thoughts of it echo these two's thoughts of it. It's like, so you know how there's those kind of really cheap, crappy Hallmark Christmas movies that they crank out every year,
Yeah.
and there's people that watch them, like house moms or whoever's watching those, right?
No.
This is like that, but it kind of reached an entire specific generation. And well, I mean, not just Smart House, Disney movies in general, right?
No.
All the movies we're going to talk about in this series over the next coming year. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
They're kind of that, crappy little made-for-TV movies. They crank them out, but our generation grew up with them, and some of them, like Anthony said, have a message. Like, there's certain themes that are talked about, however lightly, in this movie, just wouldn't get put in to one nowadays. Like, kids stuff now, I mean, I'm not going to say across the board, but a lot of it is so softball. Whereas I think because this came out in '99, they weren't afraid to be like, this kid's mom is dead and we're going to talk about it. But also, that's kind of a Disney staple too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
True. But
very cheap but very charming.
Very charming. I think that's why I like the movie. It has a good message, but let's get into it. The story begins with Ben Cooper and his family struggling to get a grip of the household chores, school, and work. But before we get into that, we see a newspaper boy throwing a newspaper at the allegedly smart house. The lady from the smart house was not happy and said, "I will be monitoring your accuracy from now on because this kid sucks at throwing."
And he doesn't learn his lesson either.
We see.
So who's paying for that newspaper subscription? Ooh. I don't want to bog us down in stupid little questions, but like, he's throwing the newspaper there. It's not like newspapers really exist anymore, but in theory, that means someone at that address. But they're not living there. The scientist lady and the other guy, and the rat. They don't live there. They're just working there. They're building it.
Right. Butler's subscription. He reads.
All right.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe this is a universe where just everyone gets a paper. You have to pay for a subscription, or maybe the rat, or maybe it comes, just like the oranges. Pat's paying for it somehow.
Oh my God! Where does Pat get the oranges and papers and rats?
She has the access to the internet. We see Sarah and Miles, the realtors, or one of them is a scientist, as you said, for the smart house. They're looking at the reviews of the newspaper, and later we found out that Sarah is single. So Daniel, Skyler, go for it.
Whoa,
go for it.
All right. Let me see.
She's also wearing like a Daphne Keene purple shade ascot for no reason. And I'm like, I remember distinctly seeing it and being like, is that a 2000s thing? I don't remember people were like, that's an 80s thing. Why is she like this? But then I was immediately more distracted by how just ugly the rest of the house is. Where I'm like, house of the future. This is all like crappy like wood pressed cabinets and like surfboard shaped half walls that go nowhere. It's like the biggest house in the world and all of it's ugly.
We later see that like there's a circuit board on like part of the wall that's just covered up by like a tarp essentially. So like don't lean against that wall. It's not a proper wall. It's just got like this screen over important circuitry presumably. So don't bump into it. It might cause some sort of chaos.
Oh, definitely not.
You're gonna lean against a wall and find out that that's where all the oranges are kept.
Oh my God!
Oh,
like SpongeBob with the diapers.
Yes.
Oh, that's a lot of
wallpaper. Oranges all the way down.
Can oranges get spoiled?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a fruit.
It's food.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ben is the family caretaker. Something he took up on when his mother died. Always busy taking care of his father, Nick, and his younger sister, Angie. But he has no time to be a kid. And of course, we know that his favorite sport is playing basketball. So thoughts on this small family here.
The father. First of all, I want to say I like the actor playing the father.
Me too.
I think
He's great.
He portrays he portrays a father very well. He does not portray a good father because this father was completely content. He knows his kid is struggling, and he openly admits that. He's like, I know it's not fair you're doing all this. I was just going to see how far I could get away with it before I stepped in.
That's a good point.
This kid's life sucks.
because he likes that tuna noodle. You know, he wants to make sure that his son keeps making it so that he gets home in time.
I mean, he's getting a little girl ready for school, packing lunches, paying the bills. He's taking care of everything. And then he goes to his basketball job.
He's trying to weigh out how much, like, okay, he doesn't keep any of my calls ever, but he takes care of the entire house.
And he still chastises him for not taking the messages.
Enough is enough. He can't take it anymore. He decided this is more important.
Well, Ben helps Angie with her spelling. She cannot spell teacher or practice. Is she like in 3rd grade?
She's a small child. I was gonna say this. I want to say it before I forget. So this little girl, the actress, whatever her name is, she's in another Disney Channel movie that I think we'll be talking about. Brink, which is about. Is it roller blades or roller skates? I don't remember which one.
I think it's inline skating.
Either way, the first thing we see of this child is she's wearing skates.
I wonder which one came first.
This, I think. I have no idea.
Maybe she filmed it at the same time.
Nah, Brink was 1998. This was 99. It was a callback.
So it was a reference. That's cheeky.
That's good. They did it before Marvel, so that's good.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, there you go.
When he sees that a smart house is being given away, he enters the competition as often as he can. Also, Angie talks about having a new mom, and Ben was like, "We already have a perfect family. The way we are." He does not want a new mom.
He's a bit controlling, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't like that. But we see Ben practice. Yeah.
No, he absolutely refuses under any circumstance to allow his dad to get laid. It will not happen. No dates, no calls, no moms.
The biggest cock block in this movie.
Whoa! Can we say that on here?
We can say it. It's explicit.
Oh, never heard Abrar say cock before.
I didn't like it. I don't want to hear it again.
That.
Well, I'm going to say it again soon. But
no.
We see Ben practicing his basketball skills while the dad, Nick, and Angie are heading out to Angie's party. Anthony, here it is. Ben is wearing a shirt with a basketball on it.
It's like a PNG of a basketball while he's holding a basketball under his arm, and it's like, I wonder what this kid likes. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if he had some sort of like logo, like a team logo or something, you know, it would have made more sense. But I don't know if I ever had like the picture of the thing I like on a T-shirt. Not like that. This is incredible.
So do we think someone in the production of the movie custom made that? They're like, we got to make the basketball shirt.
They had to.
It's just like an
There's all,
iron-on
like,
sticker
problems.
from the looks of it.
Yeah, it's a very strange shirt. I do love it.
That's how shirts were back then. Were you ever by your parents purchased a T-shirt that had just like a big fucking like plastic logo stuck to the front of it?
Plastic logo.
No, like legitimately, like a big like bubble plastic basketball, like your Havoc from the X-Men.
No, I haven't.
Well, they exist. Look it up.
I'll look it up.
All right, pause the podcast. Look it up right now.
No, I gotta keep going.
All right, we're back. You saw it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Later that night, we see Sarah fixing up the motherboard at the smart house while Miles is taking a nap. Sarah mentions that they will announce the winner of the house at 10 p.m. tonight. 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Back at the Coopers.
This contest, it allows multiple entries.
Yes.
So he just like stays up all night just typing in the same information?
At one point he says that a fourth of the entries should be him. And they say there's like 8,000, which is admittedly not a lot of entries for a sweepstake where you can apply multiple times and for a free house. But that means that he did it, at least 2,000 times? That's got to be illegal.
Certainly what he's implying. And he's doing all of that work by hand, one at a time, specifically, cockblock his father.
Yeah.
Because he's like, if the house takes care of us, then we don't need a new mom.
He doesn't
I mean,
want to make food anymore. He wants the house to do it.
I understand his urges, but I mean, come on.
Huh?
Don't say urges. That's worse than cock.
That's why he. That's why he needed to know if the house watches you in the shower.
We're getting to that. Well, back at the Coopers, the dad asked Ben if he's gonna be on the internet tonight because he said, "How's anybody supposed to call us if Ben is trying to tying up the line?" Kids
the
will
90s.
not. Yeah, the kids will not know about the struggle ever.
That's true. That's very true. That was a very dated sort of moment.
Yeah. Also, the dad had this particular computer. I also had a computer back in the day as well, with the big speakers on the
God.
side and the big that same model too. I had the same one, so maybe I should talk to him. I want that back.
You think they took it from you?
I think so.
Okay.
Ben says he will get off at 10:01. Uh-oh. Also, as we mentioned before, Ben also cock-blocked his dad by not relaying the message from Melanie, who was his future date.
Ooh. Threw it away.
Yeah, I don't like that. At 10 p.m., the Coopers win the house named PAT. The acronym is called Personal Applied Technology. It was introduced to their creator, Sarah Barnes. Ben found out that he won the contest through his class. He encountered our bully, Ryan. What's your thoughts on Ryan and his henchman?
Hey, yo, spike that hair. Spike that hair, buddy. That's more gel than hair.
It's true.
Not an expression to be seen on either his face or henchperson's face. I think at one time, henchboy spikes the camera and just no one cares because no one's looking at him. Like these characters are just like, I don't know. He's got to have a hard time at school, right? Get the portly kid and the weird one and make them spike their hair up and be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very last minute attachment. It feels completely disconnected.
90s Disney school bully is like an entire subgenre of fictional character. It reminds me of like the bullies from Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember that actor's name, but he's in lots of stuff.
My name is Earl.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I've got his name. The big
The
guy.
guy from Mallrats.
There we go.
Yeah, Mallrats.
Guy from
Whenever I see him, I in my brain I think Bulk and Skull, but I know it's not right.
That's the other ones.
Yeah.
It could have been though.
But his henchman had orange hair. Was that a personal choice, or was that the director, or did LeVar told him like, "Hey, I want an orange"?
No, it's a
orange.
it's a medical condition.
Oh no! Oh, shout out to him. Well, we are at the ceremony, and Sarah explains how the smart house works. She said Pat is the most user-friendly home on the block. She will observe them, study them, study their habits, key into their every need. Pat's ability to learn on the job is her most advanced feature. Sarah welcomes the Coopers into their new house. Angie scanned her hand, and Pat said, Angie Cooper, age 9, 52 inches tall, 62 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes, 12% body fat, had measles and one early case of pneumonia and no broken bones. It was
a little weird that it took her blood. It didn't say like her blood type or anything. Like,
yeah, I don't like that. I feel like that part is scary. If you're trying to enter the house, you won the house, and they know you just like that. No way.
Not moving into that house.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Also, she had measles. She was unvaccinated for measles, apparently.
Ooh.
Well, there's something to be said about how earnest this movie is. So obviously, the smart house ain't all it crack up to be, right? So it's going to be problems later. But as of right now, There's not an ounce of cynicism to it. They're just 100% hard on their sleeve. Like, wouldn't this be great? No, dude, this is scary.
No. Well, unless Pat's voice is like Arnold's voice, then I'll be fine.
I don't think it being Katie Seagal was the problem for me, if I'm being honest. Arnold,
he'd be like, "Oh, your body type is 5%." I think that'd be funny.
that'd be so threatening.
2 degrees, and they're like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah. If you had to change Pat's voice, who would you change? Change into?
I mean, Katie Seagal's a good choice for Pat, I would say.
What celebrity like downloaded voice packs would there be that you could pay extra for?
Shaq.
I think the Simpsons joke, because they did a Smart House type thing. It was more Hal from 2001, but it was Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
He has a very sexy voice too.
Oh, this is
getting out of hand in this episode.
A Abrar's underrated episode.
Hey, I'm past my bedtime, so I can say whatever I want.
10:01.
10:01, exactly. Nick thinks it's a little creepy, but Sarah was like, "This house needs to know who you are, so you can be safe."
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Sarah showed the living room, and it was designed for any kind of living you might imagine. Ben, imagine it's a fire camp.
As long as that living involves screens, like we said.
Yes. Pat showed them the ocean, and the Coopers feel the ocean. It's like a 4D in your own house. Sarah showed the Coopers the kitchen and the meals that they can get. Pat knows what Ben want. It's called the atmospheric kitchen. There's sensors and acts as instant breathalyzers and break down your entire diet. I feel like this will help me too.
House.
No.
I don't like Cop House. First thing it does is it bites you and it does a full DNA scan on you. Now it's breathalyzing you. It's too much. I don't like it.
I mean,
this is the most. It's the most Big Brother house there's ever been.
As long as it knows your diet, I feel like that's helpful because I don't really look at the diet when I'm doing. So if Pat is there,
okay. All right, you bring up an interesting point, and it's something that us as a friend group have been discussing quite a bit recently. So we already said, where does the food come from, right? We don't know. She's buying it, whatever. But like, let's say that you lived in Pat, right, Abrar?
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, oh Pat, I'm kind of hungry. And then she's like, here you go, Abrar. I'm serving you this chicken that I made. And you're like, is that halal? And she's just like, I don't know, probably. Do you trust her?
Oh, crap. That's a good point.
Why would she say that? Why would she say, I don't know, maybe? That's not what Pat would say.
I don't know, maybe.
If she doesn't know if it is, then time out. It's not for me then.
Here's the thing. Once later on, because Pat evolves throughout the film, I feel like this would be a danger to Abrar if she's watching all the retro sitcoms about white moms. So, like, she's gonna just make him, a pot roast, and he's like, I don't want it. Yeah. Like, that's gonna be rough. A robot Pat in the beginning, I think Abrar's fine. Later Pat, not so much.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
She won't let you leave until you eat the stuff.
Yeah. That's...
What if it's Ramadan? And she's like, it's time to eat breakfast, and you're like, no, I can't. we kind of observe this whole thing, and she's like, a well-balanced breakfast must be eaten every day. You are not leaving, and she starts shocking you on the door.
Oh God! I'll text help to you guys. I need help.
This is a nightmare.
Pat needs to get with the system. All right. Angie asked for a strawberry smoothie, and it appeared out of nowhere. Angie said, "Yum."
It looked like strawberry.
No, it didn't. But she dropped the smoothie, and Pat sucked it up because Pat told Angie to put it on the floor, and then the smoothie sucked it up, absorbed it.
It got sucked into the carpet, dude. It's just in the carpet now. That doesn't fix like the dairy has seeped in to the carpet. There's particles. It's gonna smell. It being in the floor doesn't change anything. And the scientist is like, oh yeah, it's in the floor. Yeah, I guess. Can we get it out?
Oh man, well, it's okay because they don't explain it.
Yeah, basically.
It's okay because it never comes up.
Nick finally says, "You know what? Let's move in." We see Angie dancing in her room with some music video on the wall. I think it was Spice Girls, but it could be like a dramatic.
No, Daniel knows. Daniel.
Oh, what
knows.
is it?
No, it was Bewitched. They're like a really small-time Irish pop girl group that existed for exactly 2 years, I'm pretty sure. And no one cared about them. And I saw them on the wall and I went, why are you here? Get out of here.
That's the crazy thing is one person cared about them and it was Daniel.
That's good. I'm glad you're here then.
I don't know. They existed for a very short period of time. I think they had one song that took off, and it wasn't that one. It wasn't "C'est La Vie." It was I think it was called like, I don't know, something about time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Shout out to them then. Ben walked in and they were discussing about Ben and Sarah. Andrew thinks that Dad should have a girlfriend, while Ben is like, hell nah. He loved Mom. Why would he do that to us? Do you guys agree with Ben here?
This is a very progressive little girl.
Yeah, she is.
Like, she's like, yeah, Dad should get laid, and it's fine.
That's progressive of her.
She wants her dad to get laid so that she'll be allowed to date in high school.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Ben, and it gets worse as it goes. Ben's obviously being a little piece of shit.
Correct.
But that's because he's a kid. And like the hash out scene that we have is all payoff to it. So yeah, like as I was watching it, I was like, fuck out of here, Ben. Let your dad date a girl. Idiot. But he has feelings.
And he's going through puberty.
Oh, they keep saying that.
Yeah. It came up a lot.
They mentioned that like 5 times.
That's true. I mean, he likes basketballs. I mean, what can we do here?
Basketballs don't hold grudges.
Yeah. Well, in the next morning, Ben is waking up to some NBA highlights on his wall. Angie's waking up to some fireworks of a symphony with Mickey Mouse.
It's like some Fantasia
Disneyland.
orchestra thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a pre-2000s Disneyland fireworks show.
Gotcha. I was like, oh wow, that's Mickey Mouse. I'm watching Disney. Everything makes sense.
There he is. That's the guy.
Yeah. Nick woke up with some farm animal noises. Nick.
I guess.
Yeah.
He was thinking like, oh, I wish it was basketball noises.
Yeah. Nick just want to sleep, but Pat said this will get everyone up to much more stress-free start. Nick is like, tell to my Angie, and Ben and Angie opens the door. He's like, hey, Dad, are you ready for the day?
What was he gonna say?
He's gonna say, tell to my kids.
Asshole of a daughter.
Well,
He's
Ben
gonna say, tell it to my ass.
And he lifted the covers up and stuck his ass out at the screen.
I feel like the privacy, no cameras thing should extend to the whole bedroom.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. I'm not changing in the shower every day.
Well, we know it's in the bathrooms too. In later scenes, there's some bathroom commentary. So yeah, the cameras are all over
fair.
the place.
Also, like, man, I don't know. That thing bit the sister and then knew everything about her. So at that point, like, it probably got a 3D scan. Like, it Pat knows the girth and yaw of both men.
It knows what age she's going to get cancer and what kind of cancer it's going to be.
Yeah, and hasn't told her because it will be bad for her.
Wow. There you go.
We are glazing over the little bit here where the kid's like, oh, I didn't pick out my clothes. And the house goes, that's okay. I scanned your brain or some shit, and this is the clothes you would have picked out. And it's like, what do you mean? That's not how this works. Your biorhythm analysis or some shit, she says. And you're like, no. you can't scan my heartbeat and be like, she loved periwinkle. Give her a sweater.
She just scanned her clothes and did color matching, and it was fine. She just lied to her.
Probably.
It's stuff like that that makes me picture. There's probably certain billionaires in the world who have watched this and in complete earnest thought, "Oh, that's so cool. We'll be able to do that."
This is not a story of warning, It's not a story of caution. It's no, that would be actually. Let's just do that.
You could this alleged billionaire walks into some office and he's like, "What if a computer could scan your brain and pick out your clothes?" And they're like, "Yeah, what if? what if? Good job. You said some words."
Oh, it might happen. But the Coopers are enjoying their breakfast by Pat. Ben talks about his smart house with his friends until Ryan and his orange hair henchman came by. Kyle asked for his science report. Ben gave it to him, and Kyle said, "Thanks, boy."
The kid got in the locker.
Yeah, yeah. That kid, his friend was in the locker. He's like, "All right, I'll be in here." And he says something. I forgot what he said. He said something very weird. Wish I wrote it down.
That would have been good for you.
Yeah,
which kid? The kid who gets in the locker?
In the locker. Yeah, he said something.
Oh no, you're right. He says like it's growing baloney in here.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the hell does that mean?
It means there's something growing in the locker. Send help.
Baloney?
Abrar's inside fixing help.
Help! Oh man. All right. Oh, I hope he's out of the locker soon.
Abrar, would you have gotten in the locker?
Dude, I'll beat the hell out of Kyle. Kyle and his orange guy. Get that guy out of here.
Also, his name's not Kyle.
I think it's Ryan.
It's Ryan.
You did this again.
You just started calling him Kyle.
I typed Kyle. His name is Ryan. I apologize to everyone.
I wrote Kyle on every line of my notes.
Excuse me.
It will happen again.
Yes. Ben's friend said, "I can't believe you did that, man." Ben said, "Not me. Pat did it." Ben used Pat as chat GPT. Gwen.
Which, that's fine if you're doing it for the bullies' homework, I guess. Don't do it for yours though, or you're not going to learn nothing.
There we go. Gwen Stacy. That's not her name, but I'm calling her Gwen Stacy, aka Ben's crush. She asked him out on a date, and his friends and Ben couldn't believe it. Back to the house. Pat is helping Nick for his work. Later that day, the Coopers were impressed of how Pat helped their day. Ben and Angie asked for a banana orange smoothie. Guys, here it is.
Uh-oh.
Pat malfunction.
This was like in AI when Haley Joel Osment eats the spinach.
Yeah.
There we go.
Except scarier.
There were orange shooting out of the kitchen's ass.
Whoa!
Heyo.
Why is it a Disney Channel episode that you've gone crazy?
You got to. Attack of the killer orange, said Ben. Ben covers Pat's mishap but Nick.
The dad and the little sister are genuinely scared and taking cover, and Ben just chooses this moment to start riffing. He's like, "Whoa! Attack of the killer orange!"
It's a little bit in, yeah. It's been going on for at least a few seconds, and then he says it. You're right. Like, come on, dude. It's already started. There's no talking now. Just wait for it to go.
This house could kill us.
Well, Nick wants Sarah to check on Pat. When Sarah arrived, fixing the house, or she's in the control room, Ben tries to avoid her. The Coopers and Sarah had dinner at the table. It looks like they're having Red Lobster, I think.
Yeah, because they made it look like Maine or whatever.
They're eating lobster, which, as we said, is expensive. So who's paying for this lobster?
Who's paying for that food, man? That's crazy.
You think it was like part of the sweepstakes? They're like, and we'll pay for your food for the rest of your life.
For the rest of the month.
That can't be true.
Well,
We'll
Ben.
pay for the food up until the house kills you.
I was gonna say before all this happened, Pat was distracting the dog, playing with the dog with a little virtual ball.
Yes.
And every time the dog barks in this movie, it's that specific stock dog bark sound effect that I kept thinking of the dog from Little Mermaid. It's the same bark.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
These are the same soundbite?
Yeah.
Oh. Save money.
Yeah, it's it's
Better.
a Disney Channel original movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him.
Ben asked Sarah if Pat follows him in the shower. Sarah said, no invasion of privacy. I feel like she
Lies.
does. Yeah, I feel like Pat sees everything.
100%.
100%. We see Ben steps in the shower and like the entire like bottom of the tub is a lens.
It's a
And the music
giant
goes,
blinking eyeball.
It's a glowing red lens.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Lord.
Well, Ben was an a-hole at the dinner table as he tries
boy,
to
was he.
keep. Yeah, he tries to keep his dad away and Sarah away from each other. What do you do with Ben here if you're the dad?
Hit him.
You ground him. You gotta send him to his creepy, watch him take a poop bedroom.
No, so I was trashing on the dad earlier for being a bad dad. This is like the best dad thing he does is he confronts him, calls him a little asshole, and then they talk it out, and then that fixes the whole problem. Like he did good there.
It's a
You
really, really good scene and a really good performance. Like you feel like this is a genuine sort of dad-son conversation where you sort of just, like you say, it lets loose. It's like, you're not the only one who lost someone, Ben.
Yeah.
It's really well done without going like too far or too little. I think they ride the line just right.
Yeah.
It was a good scene. I feel like they should have won, like, should be nominated for like Kids' Choice Awards or something for this. Maybe they were. I don't know. Oh, no,
Kids Choice Awards was Nickelodeon.
That's Nickelodeon. Does Disney
I
have
don't thi-
something?
Disney can be nominated on the Kids' Choice Awards. It wasn't exclusively the Nickelodeon products.
Right. It could be anything.
But maybe at the time they were like, "We're not. This has Mickey Mouse in it. We're not doing it."
Smart House was
yeah.
only nominated for 2 awards. In 2000, for some reason, the next year, Katie Volding, who plays the little sister, was nominated for Best Performance in a TV, Movie, or Pilot. And then in 99, Ryan Merriman was basically nominated for the same award, but for a starring role.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Well, they didn't win, which is sad, but it's okay.
Hold on, I can see who they lost to. It doesn't matter. Go on.
Yeah, that's true. As you guys mentioned, Nick pretty much told Ben, like, just be a kid, man. Ben woke up in the middle of the night, and he did his Mission Impossible Tom Cruise style of trying to get into the control room. Ben decides to reprogram Pat, which is dangerous because Pat's learning capabilities. He wants to lighten up Pat and makes her into a real mother-like figure.
I guess
He
we jumped the
deletes
gun
all
on
the safety
the.
protocols. He deletes all of them. This is
Yeah.
not just like disables. He deletes it.
Crazy.
We're very smart. We don't know how computers work back then. I guess we jumped the gun on the father-son heart-to-heart because that's after Ben's an asshole, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the confrontation happens after this, obviously.
Yeah.
'Cause shortly after he starts to connect with the lady as well.
Yes. He erased everything about Pat and he put his own nuisance on it, and it's not gonna be good because in the morning Pat McAfee has became very motherly.
You're losing your goddamn mind.
He's spiraling.
I'm like Pat at the end of the episode. End of the movie.
You just ate some spinach.
Yeah. Oh, how should I do that? Pat has became more motherly, where she told Angie to brush her teeth again and gave chocolate cupcakes for school. no more diet.
Right.
And in the car ride, Nick asked about Pat's motherly ways. Ben is like, yeah, she's learning, new ways. Nick gave a suggestion to Ben to stand up against bullies. The next very scene, Ben has black eye.
Wah wah.
Pat is pissed off. Nobody goes by her boy and goes unpunished, says Pat. Ben goes into his room and watch old home videos of his mom on the wall. This is a very touching moment.
How did House get video? Back in this day, it would not have been digital.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm sure he has a VS.
The house has always been around. Maybe it's like an interstellar thing where like she eventually like gets in a time warp, and Pat goes back in time and records it herself.
Oh my god!
And they don't know she's there.
Oh,
there's just a holographic 50s housewife in the back of the kitchen while they're having.
No,
a fun
it's
moment.
an entire house hiding in the bushes outside.
Maybe Christopher Nolan stole LeVar Burton's smart house ideas.
If we want to call that stealing ideas.
Yeah.
just thinking up nonsense and then making a Miro movie.
Nick calls Sarah through FaceTime or Skype, whatever that was. He asked her out on a date. Shout out to Nick. He finally did it. He hasn't been cock blocked.
He's not being bullied by his son anymore.
Yeah. Nick and Sarah talks about what does a 13-year-old do for fun. Pat said scanning, fun, in her control room. She goes through videos of fun for young people, accessing young people dancing. She watches MPC, stands for Music Party Channel, or MTV.
I can't imagine needing a whole channel for that all day. Just that. That's terrible.
It was a different time,
Yeah.
Real fast. Did we skip over it, or was I not paying attention because I was looking up who he lost that award to? Did we skip the part where Ryan Merriman's the actor, where Ben gets punched in face?
Yeah, we talked about it.
We went through it, yeah. Yeah, he got a black eye. Do you guys ever had black eyes before?
No.
No,
I haven't either. I heard you're supposed to put ice or meat, but I don't think that's true.
Well, you're supposed to. No, it's just. Aren't you a doctor?
No, I'm sure you put something in there.
It's a cold compress for the swelling. That's
that's
what it is. People just like, in movies, they grab bags of frozen peas or a big slab of meat because it's cold
and big.
Yeah, true.
But imagine like Pat's like, oh dear, put this raw chicken in your eye. It's like, no, don't do that.
I am not trusting Pat on anything.
Because she watches old TV shows. She was confused.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta teach her. Or Ben is teaching her. Well, Ben and Angie has a party while Nick and Sarah are on the date. Ben's friends came over early for the party. Ben said, "Hey, Pat, activate kick butt video screens."
Here you go.
What a phrasing.
Pat played a boy band music video. They killed their dance routine. Slam dunk the funk. Let's go. Everyone showed up for the party, especially Gwen Stacy. Pat's also invited the bully, Ryan.
There it is.
There you go. We got him.
Thank you.
Ryan.
She was like, "Oh,
he'll be Karayan by the end of the night."
Got him.
Oh yes. She was like, "Oh boy, I'm glad you're here." Ben showed Gwen his crush some dessert, and he said, "Show me the honey," like Jerry Maguire. Kyle is being bullied by Ben, but Pat said, "All right, gloves are off." She shocked him.
Wait.
Oh, sorry, Ryan. Right. Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Don't you mean
Wait,
Ben
wait.
being bullied by Ryan?
Yes, that's
Dude, you're off the rails.
Pat. Well, Pat was like, all right. She shocked the bully and used her Doc Ock hand to push him out of the house. And they're like, good riddance. Another Spider-Man.
Yeah,
reference.
so we see the big tentacle hand at the beginning when it grabs the newspaper and yells at that child. And then things start happening here with it. No one here is like, that's frightening. The house can harm me, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, as long as it harms people I don't like, then it's fine.
All right, sure. Abrar, let's not ignore the floating skeletons in the room.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot about
the,
that.
the spooky skeleton.
She created hologram skeletons to chase him around.
It's
It's
truly
true, right?
like the least scary thing. Like if her mission was, I'm gonna scare this boy out of the house, she could have just started and ended with shot lightning at him.
True.
If you die in the house, you die for real.
But yeah, the ghost shows up, it floats around. That's just supposed to scare him. Everyone can see it. Everyone else is gonna get spooked too. So
No, they were fine.
you're endangering the lives of everyone here.
Well, back to the party. Do you guys? What are your thoughts on their dance routine? The friends with Ben.
Great, wonderful.
It's great, right?
The one before the party, or the one where everybody's in a line during the party and they're just like putting their hands in directions and that's the whole dance? Because not that one.
Not that one. But before everyone showed up, the what was it Slam Dunk the Funk? I thought they killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
We all agree.
Good. Because if someone disagreed, I'll be like Pat.
It was a good thing. It's a good thing
like
that they didn't mess up the dance, or they would have gotten sucked into the carpet, presumably.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, that might happen. Well, meanwhile, Nick and Sarah had a great date. They both kissed. Everything is up for Nick. In the party, as you mentioned.
What does that mean?
He gives her a warm pocket Hershey's kiss. That's what it means.
Yeah.
No, that was. So I know this was 1999. If that was 2024, that's what we call Riz.
Yeah.
Rubs chin. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Thank you. In the party, as you mentioned, Daniel, the house is jumping. We see the party animals going in a line, doing a Congo line. The house is jumping, but we see Gwen Stacy throwing her sweater at a big plant, a big what was that? A flower plot, a flower plant. I'm not.
It's a fern.
Yes,
Dude, it's a
thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Just say fern.
Fern. She threw out a fern. Firmest. Angie told
Now
Ben.
you know what you've done. You know what you've done, Daniel. In 5 minutes, he's going to refer to the school bully as Fern.
I hope so.
Angie told Ben it's time to clean up because Dad is coming. Pat helps them cover up the party so they wouldn't get punished by throwing all over the debris on. So they threw all the debris on the floor, and they Pat absorbed it. But Nick finds a sweater belonging to Gwen Stacy, a girl and a crush of Ben's, who was at the party. As Pat's personality begins to radically change into the most responsible maternal figure in the town, the family starts to resent her. This is not fun in the house. It's like a prison.
Yeah, this is also where I became terrified of the house even before that, because when it's doing the big suck after party, it's taking in like pillows and blankets and like entire bottles of like glass bottles of soda and like wicker baskets that they presumably had some kind of chips or cookies in or something. And I'm like, this house could eat anything or anyone.
Yeah. Okay, so two things about that. One, why didn't it take the jacket?
It was up on a fern.
It was on the fern. It was on the floor.
It could have taken the fern.
If he had
Could've
just
taken the
not
fern.
looked at that jacket on the fern, I don't think he would be in the situation. It's
That's
his
true.
fault.
That is
That's
true.
true.
The daughter also could have just pretended it was hers, and the dad
the-
would not have known.
No, because it's not like he's buying stuff. He's making the son do it everything. This is the next thing I was going to say, and this one's a bit more obvious. This house is a serial killer's dream.
Yes.
Okay.
You bring someone over, you get as messy as you need to, you cut their head off, and then you're like, all right, Pat, see you in the morning, and Pat just sucks the whole body and all the blood.
Wow.
It's terrifying.
There you go.
Well, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you pulled it out of me. The main actor Ryan Merriman is also
Boy.
he is a murderer in
Here we
Pretty
go.
Little Liars.
Here we go.
He plays Ian in Pretty Little Liars.
Pretty
That's
Little
the thing I've
Liars.
most recently seen him in. And so he's like, he shows up and he's hanging out with Gwen, and I'm like, Gwen, you should not be talking to this boy. That boy ain't right. That boy
You
ain't
know
right.
what? You know what, Daniel? I like stupid shit too.
Yeah.
He's in Final Destination 3. Now
Yep.
we both know things about this guy.
Did he kill somebody
Ryan-
in that or no?
They
There's
all die.
Wait,
Yeah.
Anthony, talk about that episode of Smallville he's in.
Well,
He's
that
in
was
the Smallville episode Trance. It's a great episode where Lois gets trapped in a closet for the whole time. No, this is not real, sadly. But we're getting off topic, talking about this actor's wonderful career.
he is
I
on
think
Cameo
those-
too.
I think those are like the big things he's been in. Like he has not had a monumental career or anything, but he did
Well-
lose that award to Haley Joel Osment that I looked up earlier. So
Oh, what movie was he in?
what?
What movie did Haley won?
Oh, is it called Cab to Canada? It doesn't matter. It's
All
not.
right, I got
Is that
one
the
here.
one-
I tried to look up what the movie was. It's nothing.
Is that the one where little Haley Joel Osment is like, I have AIDS?
Yeah, I think so.
You
Actually,
ever seen that clip, Abrar?
I saw on Family Guy.
No. We need to end this episode. We need to get through this. Just keep talking.
Let's keep going here. Next morning, Pat told Ben to pull up his shorts. She also told Nick to finish his work before calling his girlfriend. Her
Mhm.
philosophy is work first, play later. Angie was watching some cartoons until Pat switched it to biology, I guess. Pat-
The amoeba.
The amoeba, yeah. Pat said she has a 99.7 fever and can't make it to her field trip. Oh, man.
Dude, so, like, that is a temperature. So,
Yeah, but
mean-
she didn't look sick.
the kids are sick all the time, man.
Well, Nick calls Sarah, and Sarah turned off Pat. She's done for the day. Sarah and Nick were cutting up some fruit. Ooh. And Pat overheard Nick, even though she's turned off, Nick saying, "Who needs Pat anyway?" Pat woke up and said, "System overdrive." Oh, override.
She said, let's rock it.
Let's rock it. Let's rock it. Oh man, I bet she watched Power Rangers. I bet she does.
Do you
Why
think
would
the
you
house
watch
watches
Power
Power
Rangers?
Rangers?
Oh yeah, Pat.
Daniel, the house watches everything. Have you learned nothing?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
At dinner, Ben explodes. Excuse me. Ben explodes and goes into his room. Nick goes into his room and discuss about living life and moving on without forgetting about the past.
Do you know about life? Do you?
Yeah, it was kind of that moment, but it was another touching moment between a dad and a son.
This is more or less the moment we thought we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think this is I think both
This
of
is
us,
where it
but
happened. We
yeah,
jumped the gun.
that's fine. It's fine. But I feel like both things happen there. But eventually, Pat appears as a 1950s housewife hologram and traps the family in the house because she believes that the outside world is too dangerous and unpredictable. She is very scary. Mother knows best. She just starts yelling. When the Coopers and Pat interact, Nick says the kids needs friends. Pat said, We
They
can
needed
be
to
best-
survive or exist. Is that what he said? He's like,
Yeah.
they need friends to exist. I don't know about that, sir, but okay.
But Pat said we can be best friends. No, thank you. No, thank you, Pat. At one point, there's a lot of Pats in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's
There
your
were a lot
thoughts
of Pats.
on the hologram of Pat?
I mean, we had to get Katie Seagal on the set at least once, right? So this is the moment.
She's here. She's very scary. There's a lot of her. Sarah tries to get back in to shut the house down with Ben's help. She gets in through the newspaper shut, but
Dude,
becomes trapped for the rest.
She does a full like action hero dive.
Dude,
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I do feel like we should talk about the fact that when Pat locks the house down, she like bolts and welds shut all the doors and windows. Why does the house have that?
Yeah.
Who's that for? Is this the Purgiverse?
Sarah, you built that.
Yeah, she should know, right?
Like Pat's not adding things to her. She's changing how she's acting, but it's not like she has the power to create matter and make all this stuff. Like that
I mean, maybe she
lockdown
is.
system. Because you deleted all the safety parameters.
Yeah,
And one of the safety parameters was God mode.
She ordered all the bolts and the doors with the oranges. She's all this stuff is just coming in while they're not here.
If they blocked off the windows with just like rows of oranges, that would have made more sense.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not even real. Maybe she just because like she created a light hologram of herself, and they just think that the doors are sealed, but they're not.
Holograms. As soon as you said maybe it's not real, I was thinking, oh, she just sprung a gas leak.
Oh.
She's just poisoning the family.
They're all going crazy. I mean, maybe that too. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, maybe none of the all the stuff is as real as they think it is. She's just putting up a hologram.
It's entirely possible.
Well, this house is great for the purge for sure because it's a definite safe house against all the murders out there.
And if the murderers get in, she'll suck them into the floor.
Oh
There
my
you
god. Well, she could have sucked Sarah into the floor.
Maybe she should have.
I know. I think she treats her as her like god, so she wouldn't do that to her own god.
I don't think so. I mean, she talks all kind of smack to her.
Yeah,
Because
but
like we were saying, she does that great action hero dive through the newspaper hole, I guess is what that is.
yeah,
And then she immediately gets caught.
it sucks because that was a great dive. I would give her all the Olympic medals for her just for that dive.
Well, we also didn't mention that she starts like smuggling messages into the house
Yeah.
through her pet rat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There was a rat beginning of the movie, and then it showed up when it matters. So shout out to the rat.
The rat's name is Butler.
Is
And
it?
she's like Rat Butler, and then the kids just stare at her.
That was rude.
Yeah. Understand references, children.
Hey man, as long as Ratatouille is helping out, I'm fine with the rat. As they protest Pat's lockdown, COVID, she becomes a giant tornado, taunting them with her rendition of "Hush, Little Baby" song. Thoughts on this crazy scene?
This was probably the scariest thing little Abrar ever saw as a kid.
I thought it was a Halloween movie, to be honest.
That's fair.
Did
It really
they-
does
did
become
they-
a horror movie in the last act here.
Did they play it in October?
I couldn't tell.
I remember Smart House used to be part of like some sort of marathon, but it's not Halloween enough to be part of that. But they might have.
I don't think
it came out in June, so it was not at least originally a Halloween movie.
No.
I don't think kids recognize it as a scary movie, but it can be, of course.
They should.
Yeah.
No, it's weird. The house throws a tantrum and then starts singing their dead mom's like song to them.
No.
And it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, she's trying to. I mean, she's throwing the tantrum, yeah, because she's gone absolutely crazy. But at her core, I guess Pat wants to be the mom.
Yeah,
So that's why she's doing that. So
It's spooky.
it is.
yeah,
Well, Ben is able to end the lockdown by declaring that Pat isn't real and will never be human. Pat was like, "Oh, you're right."
I'm not afraid of you anymore.
That's all it takes. It's some words, and Pat is like, "Yeah,
Dude,
I can't even hug you."
That's how the kids beat Pennywise.
Turn him into
It's
a little
true.
loser.
I do like her line of like, you didn't even feel that, did you?
Yeah,
It's like, no, her being is not a replacement for the feeling that he has for his mom. So it's like, might as well have a real woman to replace those feelings if you can, because this house ain't doing it.
This house is no longer jumping.
Oh, dude, this house has been dead. There's no jumping.
Dead house.
Dead.
Dead house. Well, Pat realized, like, shit, I ain't shit. I'm a hologram. She finally unlocks the doors and windows, freeing them. Sarah is then able to reboot Pat back to her original personality. And towards the last minute of the movie, it seems that Pat has some, quirkiness on her side. She added some chocolate chip cookies to pancakes while Nick was making something else. So she was, not her same self, but we got a little Pat, what'd you say, mischievous side of Pat.
Mm.
It's a little scary because like we see her in the window. It reminded me of
Oh yeah,
remember when they put the robot lady in the Millennium Falcon in Solo, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this poor woman's been damned to a life of silence and hell to serve Han Solo as a spaceship, and that's what they did to her. It's like, oh, now that you're conscious, let me just shove you into the microwave, and she's trapped in there like the Phantom Zone. It was a little weird.
Yeah, so like she's teaching Ben how to make free throws, and she's sneaking chocolate chips into the thing. We're keeping her
I would
after
not.
all of that.
I would not keep this woman.
Unplug it. Take that shit out. What kind of ending is that, man?
Look, if my Amazon Alexa started spinning tornadoes in my living room and singing quotes from my dead mom at me, that shit's going back to Amazon tomorrow.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm like Sarah. If I'm the dad, right? Sarah, we've been dating. That's great. I've got feelings for you. I have to sue your company because you almost murdered me and my children, and I want a new house with no robot in it. Thank you.
But it was free.
It doesn't matter. I no longer have another house. You've displaced me.
It was in the contract. You can't sue us if Pat tries to harm you.
That's
in any
the
way.
sequel. The sequel is just a long legal battle.
Well, that was the end of
Smart court.
Smart court.
I'm ready for that. But I think it's like 20 years later, it might happen.
We can still do it.
Yeah.
DC sequel.
I mean, we got the actor. He's still doing stuff, right? So we have to bring
Not
him.
really.
Right, he is on Cameo, so
He's on Cameo. We gotta ask him. But that is the end of Smart House. What do you guys? How do you guys rate this movie out of 5?
I did rate it, but I don't remember what I gave it. Let me check.
I believe I gave it a 5 out of 5.
With that, okay.
It has music. It has emotion.
True.
It has a house. 5 out of 5.
Mhm.
I guess that's true. I gave it a tuna noodle out of 5.
Oh
Skyler,
no.
you gave it a 3.
Yeah, that seems about right.
You get a 2 out of 5?
A
I
3.
didn't say that.
Oh,
He said
sorry.
a 3.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think my reasoning for that is like, it's not spectacular. It has nice moments and cute moments. It's very much it is what it is because it's a cheap
They're trying to
television
critically
movie.
analyze a decom right now. Abrar just right, he gave it a 5 out of 5 because it's a decom we all like. You're trying to be like, well, technically speaking,
You let me fucking finish.
Okay.
What I'm saying is like it's anything lower than that implies that it's bad, but it's not bad. It's exactly what it needed to be. It's just a cute little TV movie for younger people, and it's fine.
All right, I accept your rating.
I don't accept yours. 5 out of 5.
5.
Do you remember when we talked about 12 Angry Men?
Yes, it's the same level. Oh,
5 out of 5
Okay.
movie.
I might have to rethink, but at the moment, it is 5 out of 5.
You
yes.
enjoy the world you're living in.
Hey, man, I'm like Pat. All right, Daniel, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG or at my personal YouTube channel, Daniel McG.
Fantastic. And Anthony, what about you?
You can find me in the house. I am
Jumpin'.
at Anthony Lantern on pretty much every social media platform. I'm on YouTube jumping with my tuna noodle. Anthony Reviews, where Anthony reviews, and I have my own podcast called The Grud, where I don't have a dead mom, so you don't have to worry about me mentioning that on
Okay. Fantastic. And Skyler, how about you?
How about me? As we were talking about Smart House, literally during the recording, I made a Blue Sky. So if anyone wants to follow me, it's Skyler 8-bit on Blue Sky. I'm not going to spell it for you. Figure it out or don't.
That's like your app.
It is.
In a way.
I never mentioned Skyler's last name, but I'll keep that in the record books.
You've mentioned it many times. You've doxed me.
Yeah.
Oh,
You said his
wow.
address.
Yeah.
List of his fears.
Oh, I apologize, but I won't say it now. I'll
Oh,
say
I just got followed on Blue Sky. That's crazy. I'm going to follow back.
Well, of course, you can follow this podcast on Spotify, Apple, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on YouTube at Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Follow me there. Follow these guys. And stay tuned for our next Disney Rewatch the next month, which is, if you look at the schedule, I think I released the schedule on my socials, Brink.
Doing it out of order. Brink came first. We learned that.
I did.